So, Magic the Gathering Legends doesn't go out with a bang, but with a fucking whimper. And I know for some of you, you're gonna be out here going like, "Wait, Magic Legends came out?" Yes, it did. It came out back about 3 months ago, back in March. It's now the end of June, and it's already being slated for closing, and it's still technically in beta. So it technically isn't even going to last 8 months. It started in March, it's going to end October 31st, and it's already dying. To anyone who's been watching the development and overall showcase of this game, though, you kind of knew this was coming because this was yet another showcase of a company pushing monetization first and then gameplay and enjoyment second. Just like they always do with these freemium games now. It's very rare that companies are like, let's make a good game first and then we'll make see how to make money. It's always how do we make money first and then we'll put a game behind it. They unironically thought that just putting the Magic the Gathering's name behind something would be enough to get it to just do well, but it clearly failed. I'm not sure if it's more from the blame of Wizards of the Coast or more from the blame of Cryptic Studios, but I think the main two reasons this game failed was because of the microtransactions making the game pay to win and because of the randomness that kind of took away from what I personally believe ARPGs are about. Let me talk about the ARPG angle. So for those who don't know, Magic Legends was an ARPG like your Diablos, your Path of Exiles, your Wilsons, etc., etc. But instead of like taking one skill and like hardcore scaling it up, what you do is you'd have your deck, just like your deck in MTG, and your skills rotate depending on as you use the skill, which is a neat concept. But personally, I don't think that's all that fun. Personally, I think the personally what I think the fun of ARPG is finding that one skill that really clicks that you really enjoy with, and then scaling that to infinity. Like in Path of Exile, you could take, okay, so what's the skill that I really like? Oh, I like something zombies. I could make just really stupidly strong zombies and literally make a horde to attack for me. I can make singular big buff zombies. Like I can have one mega zombie that looks over the whole screen and just one shots mobs and their entire packs because he's just this huge giant monster. I can have zombies that explode, but you have that one skill that you just scale into infinity. As hell, you're probably seeing it on screen with me playing Path of Exile. Not zombies, but I'm playing a Cyclone character. But that is the appeal of ARPGs to me. With Magic the Gathering or Legends, you don't get to like focus on one skill. You're gonna have all these other skills, and sometimes you're gonna get skills where you don't want to cast. Where it's like, all right, I want to use my big nuke spell on the boss enemy here. All right, I'm getting all my AOE stuff, still getting my AOE stuff, which is a concept in MTG arena, MTG in general, where you keep getting cards that you don't want, that you don't need at certain times, which I guess kind of is on brand, but it's not really enjoyable when it comes to the ARPG genre. So that was one problem. However, I think the bigger problem with MTG Legends was the monetization. Day one, and in the beta at that, because this game was still in beta. This game was still unironically in beta. This game was still unironically in its beta phase, and they're already charging microtransaction over microtransaction out the ass. So, first, the options of getting more characters or more planeswalkers to have a higher tier or like multicolor ability in decks were locked behind paid loot boxes. Sure, you could have like base white, base green, base red, base black, but if you wanted to play Demir, or you wanted to play Orzov, or you wanted to play Golgari, any of the dual color decks, you had to unlock the characters behind paid loot boxes. And going back to the concept of what I believe makes ARPG so fun, taking that skill and grinding it up and slowly getting stronger and better gear as your character gets better and better through killing mobs and killing bosses, it didn't really have that because they purposely made it worse because guess what? You could use microtransactions to just buy your way to the best skills. Just like when you open a pack at MTG. But here, in this game, in an ARPG, where the entire appeal is grinding up, making your skills better, making your gear better, etc., etc., they literally put also behind a paywall, thus making it pay to win. And because of those two reasons, the Gathering Legends is already dead. It lasted. It technically is lasting 7 months, and then it's going, and Cryptic Studios have no plan to bring it back. Personally, I think it would have been really easy to make this game. But remember how this was originally an MMORPG they were talking about, and then it got downscaled to this ARPG? Because they saw the hype, just like these are what companies always do. They see the hype and trends that are going on, and instead of taking a moment to understand why the trend is popular or understand what makes this thing as popular as it is, they just rush forward with no real plan, just throw money at it and say, hey, make sure money gets thrown back at us. We don't understand why it's popular, but we see that it's popular, so just get us back that money. And it's just frustrating. Personally, it's whatever to me because I don't care. I didn't play the game, or at least I didn't play a game enough to give a damn, as I still have Path of Exile, as we can see here. You know what I would like from Wizards of the Coast, but I know they're never going to do because it's not going to have recurrent spending, and companies don't want to make a profit anymore. They want to make unlimited money. That's why this game was free to play, because they see that free to play can get them more money over time than just paying for a flat price for a game. I'd love another Chandalar game. I would love a Magic the Gathering return to Chandalar. So for those who don't know what Chandalar is, it was an old Windows MS-DOS game where it was like an RPG, but you played Magic the Gathering to eventually go out and save the realm of Chandalar from a demon lord. That was Chandalar, where you start off with a pretty shitty deck, but as you adventured on, you were able to effectively ante up a card you want to duel. You're able to take a card from your opponent. You're able to go to towns and temples to get other new cards, and eventually mold. And you're able to go into like the 5 different colors of mana-based cities and defeat the ruler there, and eventually save the towns. And once you save all the towns and beat all the each color of the magic rulers, you were able to go fight the demon there. And depending on how well you beat him, and how well you beat him is how long he got locked away. That was the entire game. But at the end of the day, it was just Magic the Gathering in an RPG setting where the RPG was the gathering of the cards, making the stronger deck, making the better deck, and then eventually winning in the end. So if they can make another Chandalar game, but with the modern mechanics, the modern rules, all the cards, we're now up to what? 30,000 legit cards in MTG? If they could just do that as a single player game, it'd do so well. But they won't do that. Why? Because it'd be a one-time game, and companies don't want to make single-player games anymore. Because they don't want to... It's not about making players happy anymore. Making your players happy isn't what they care about anymore. And we saw this, as we see, with them forcing an ARPG over just giving us good card games anymore. This is Wizards of the Coast we're talking about. This is the company that will openly and freely let a card run havoc, not for weeks, but for literal months, literally destroying formats before they ban it. Or we're not going to act like Oko didn't shit stomp multiple formats for literal months before they banned it. They had to make sure everyone bought it first, and then they banned it. Same thing with Uro. Same thing with Nexus of Fate. Same thing with every other card they're going to print from now on. That they're going to leave broken on purpose so that people are buying the sets until they ban it now to placate people. Just like they always do. So that's why they'd never make a game like Return to Chandalar, even if it's something they really want. Hell, here's what they do. They make a Return to Chandalar, give it modern graphics, like they're doing in MTG Arena, give us all the cards, which is possible. You're doing it in MTG Online. Give us that RPG mechanics and stuff like that. And then each expansion, each new set, $5, $10 to expand that on the game. Keep going from there. But again, companies don't do that anymore because they don't want money. They want all of the money. It's not enough to make a profit. If they're not making every single conceivable penny on the planet, it's not worth doing to them, which is a shame. Either way, this is just another quick talks about me talking about something going on in the video game industry. Things aren't going to get better, they're going to keep getting worse. And I just wanted to make this video really quick. Either way, I want everyone out there to have a good morning, evening, day, or night, wherever you're at. But for right now, I'm out. Later.